Hello and welcome to DFS Coach Talk. Today is Saturday, May the 14th, 2022. I am Joe Sarvati, affectionately known as Coach, and I am joined by the one and only Mr. Josh Crash Davis. How are you doing on this wonderful Saturday off day of work? Hopefully the listeners, most of you are off as well. Excited for some sports today, but no basketball. So it's all baseball. So what do you think of that?
I'm a little glad there's no basketball today. I'm ready for a break from basketball after last night. That was a tough loss. So yeah, but we've got all day baseball, so I'm definitely looking forward to diving in on that and 100% focusing on baseball today. So
yeah, same here. I've got my golf plays in already. We gave those out to our members for weekend only, so hopefully we get those going, and then we'll just focus on baseball all day.
yeah.
Then tomorrow, no stress for either one of us. Both our teams in game sevens. And unfortunately, Deb's not going to join us for this one because she's going to be busy and going to game seven. So how cool is that?
Yeah, that would be a fun game to be at for sure.
Wow. So definitely stoked up about that. But let's focus in. Our listeners are here to talk MLB. We have big slate everywhere. Why don't you give us the quick rundown on what slates, what we're covering at Coach Talk? Are there any initial weather concerns? How are we looking for this Saturday's baseball?
Yeah, it looks like we're going to be okay with the weather. There is one early game, the Cardinals and the Giants, and then we have an early slate with 5 games, and then we have a 9-game main slate, which starts at 7:05 Eastern. So we will be covering the early slate and the main slate for our members in Discord.
And so that the first one's at 4:05 p.m. Eastern?
Yeah, 4:05 p.m. Eastern is the early slate.
And then the 7:05.
Yeah, and 7:05. 5 games on FanDuel and 3 games on Draftkings, I believe, on the early slate. So
yeah, they drive us nuts. Always mixing and matching the slates, but we're covering basically everything other than that San Fran St. Louis game at 2:15 is what it comes down to.
Yeah, that's right.
And if you're looking for some great baseball info beyond what this podcast offers, check us out. Go to dfscoachtalk.com. You can sign up for even a 3-day pass if you want to be here today, tomorrow, and Monday, and you want to catch all the NBA Game 7s and all that action, all of the baseball slates that we cover, and then PGA golf we have tomorrow as well. So join us, all those different opportunities, even if it's that 3-day, or try us out. Also want to thank our presenting sponsor, Prizepicks. If you go to prizepicks.com and sign up with the promo code CoachTalk, all one word, and it's your first deposit, they will match you dollar for dollar all the way up to $100. All right, I'm excited to hit this today because I've been waiting for a slate where I felt really, really good to just narrow all the field down to like 3 games. You know, you got to stack in baseball if you want to win. It's that simple. Yeah. But you got to pick the right stacks. You can go one-offs, and that's usually what I do. But, man, I'm excited when we go over this today because there are 3 games that I think I'll have 90% of my players from. So, with no further ado, pitchers, let's go to your pay-up pitcher to begin. Let the people know where you're going. And, by the way, I got to make one comment. I hate you, Darvish. I always have. I always will. And yesterday cemented it. If I ever take you, Darvish, again, cut me right off of the podcast. Just X me right out.
I didn't think he did that bad. Was he terrible?
He gave up a ton of runs. He only struck out 4. He stinks. Yeah. He's the most overpaid pitcher for the last 10 years. That stinks. All right. Sorry. I had a cry because did you see my hitters yesterday?
Yeah,
every time I turned around, I had 5 homers in the one lineup and 6 in the other lineup.
I know.
And you sunk my boat from big cash. We did cash in everywhere for Coach Talk. So, but yeah.
So my pay-up pitcher today is going to be Zach Gallen. He's 9,900 on FanDuel, 9,800 on DraftKings. Had his best start of the season in his last start against Colorado. He pitched 7 shutout innings and struck out 7. He's pitched 3 shutouts this year in his 5 starts, and he hasn't allowed more than 2 runs in any start. And he's going up against the Cubs, who have struck out at the 7th highest rate. this year. So I like the matchup at home for Zach, and I think that he's my top pay up option. So,
You know what I found amazing is yesterday we had like 8 aces going. I mean, there
yeah,
was pitchers everywhere. Today I kept scrolling up, scrolling down, scrolling up. There
I
are
know.
not many good pitchers going.
Yeah, there's really not. There's really not.
There's going to be a boatload of runs, by the way.
Yeah, there will be. I think so too.
I'm a believer, man. I'm sticking with Shane Bieber.
Okay.
I'm going with him. I know he's expensive, but you know, Minnesota hasn't exactly been ripping the cover off the ball. They've been okay, but there's a lot of outs at the bottom of that lineup with the guys like Royce Lewis and Kirkaloff and Jeffers and Sanchez.
Yeah.
I'm not a big believer in that Minnesota lineup, and I do believe with, you know, on a normal slate, Bieber would be on the probably just on the outside looking in, but with this slate and the pitchers being so weak,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to continue to be a believer here.
All right. My value pitcher is going to be Kyle Hendricks. He's 7,100 on FanDuel, 7,500 on DraftKings. Had an unbelievable 8 2/3 shutout inning start in his last start. Struck out 7, only allowed 3 hits. That was a throwback performance for him. You know, I do expect some regression tonight from his last start, but for his price, I think he's a solid value against the Arizona team that's has scored, the 7th fewest runs per game this year at 3.64. And there's some guys that I think are going to be out of the lineup for the Diamondbacks tonight that have done some damage against Hendricks. So I think that it's a solid spot for him.
Yeah, it is. Gee, I'll tell you what, it's hard on the value pitchers. I mean, it really, really is.
Mm-hmm.
There are some guys. I have like a list of 5 fade guys. I could give you as many fade guys as you want. You know, I really reluctantly say this, but Herman Marquez is my value pitcher. I know it's in Colorado. It's so dangerous.
Yeah.
And he's 0-3. I mean, everything says no, but Kansas City doesn't hit. You know, there are stretches where Marquez is okay. So I have not finalized my SP2, but Marquez right now is one of the choices I may use, and I'm looking forward to FanDuel where I can just play Bieber and not have to stress the second pitcher.
Yeah. I just got a weather update on my phone. It says there's several games that could have, some light rain. The Seattle Mets game could be delayed, but nothing looks like it's going to be postponed. So
right, and I think there's going to be some showers in Pittsburgh as well, but that should play.
It should play through it. Yeah, there's a lot of fade options on this slate.
Oh my gosh, there's a ton.
Mine is going to be Julio Urias, 9,500 on FanDuel, 9,400 on DraftKings.
Yeah,
he had the Pirates he faced in his last start, and he allowed 11 hits.
Yep.
He pitched 6 innings. He only allowed 2 runs, but he had 11 hits. If he does anything close to that against the Phillies, he's just going to absolutely get, tossed out early. So
I agree.
I think this is going to be one of his toughest matchups this year so far. And I'd just rather pay up for Gallen. He's only like 300 more. So Urias is going to be my fade against the Phillies.
Well, I have an early slate fade and a late slate fade, and my late slate fade is the same as you. Urias, for all the same reasons. They're barreling them up pretty good. Philly has plenty of bats from the right side. I just think this is a bad matchup for him, and I think you're going to see some serious regression there. So I'm with you on that one. I'd like it so much that I'm actually going to roster some Phillies. My favorite fade of the day, though, is a guy that I really like for a long time, but I think his day is done, and that's Charlie Morton for Atlanta. Yeah, he just looks like it's time to hang him up, in my opinion. I think San Diego's going to really square him up, and it's going to be warm, and the ball's going to carry in Atlanta. So look out if you're playing that early slate. I think San Diego's stacked city. I'm talking like 4 Padres in that lineup, maybe even 5.
Wow.
I know, it's
Yeah.
crazy.
They must be on the early slate. I don't remember seeing
They
them.
are. It's a
Okay.
4:05 slate, so they're
Okay.
part of that early slate that you were talking about.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
my early slate will be mostly Padres.
Because I was having a hard time finding stacks outside of the chalky ones. So I was gonna say if they were on the early or on the main slate, I would definitely be on that slate. A stack.
No, early slate for sure. All right, Chief. Do you want to go to Prize Picks?
Yeah. I'm going to go with what we were just talking about a second ago with Urias under 30.5 fantasy score. I think he'll really struggle to get, over 20. So I like the under at 30.5.
And it's like Pete and repeat. You know that old joke,
Yeah.
Pete and repeat,
Yeah.
fellas sat on the fence. I like Charlie Morton under 30.5, same as Urias, but I'm going under Charlie Morton. I think if he gets over 30 against the Padres, I would be stunned.
I don't think Max Fried. I don't think he got over that last night, did he?
No, he did not.
Yeah. I don't think Morton will get there. My other play is going to be probably one of the more higher plays, but Giancarlo Stanton over 7 fantasy score. He's got 2 home runs and 4 hits against Dallas Keuchel with a 4.44 average. So I like the over at 7 on the fantasy score. He's hit a home run in the last 2 games, I think, if I remember right. So.
And I'm going to give you 2 hitters for the late slate because Charlie's on that early one. I like Christian Walker for Arizona. I'm against Hendricks today, so I hate to butt heads with you there, but I think Hendricks goes from that fluke out of the blue performance that was nuts. And I think Arizona swacks him around. I'm going to have some little Arizona mini 3-man stacks.
Okay.
But Christian Walker over 6 fantasy points score. And then Stephen Kwan over 5.5 against Minnesota is my other hitting play on Prize Picks.
All right. I've got BVP play is going to be Giancarlo Stanton, who I just mentioned. 3,500 on FanDuel, 4,900 on DraftKings, 444 against Dallas Keuchel. 4 hits and 9 at bats, 2 home runs. I think this Yankees team is going to just smack him around. So I like him to go, with a nice 20 to 25 point night tonight. So
yeah, I think Keuchel's in deep doo-doo, as they say.
Yeah.
My BVP play I absolutely love. It's Josh Donaldson batting right in front of. So not only does he have Judge in front of him, and Stanton behind him. How'd you like to have that?
Right, exactly. And then
how can you fail in that spot?
Yeah.
And he's got 9 hits against Keuchel, 2 of them homers, 7 ribbies. He's walked 5 times. And I'm telling you, if you're looking for a BVP number that's impactful, look for a guy that hits homers and walks against a guy, because then it's not just swing for the fence. He's even stole a base against him. So I love Josh Donaldson today. And, the only frustrating thing about today is 75% of the lineups are going to have some kind of Yankee stack probably.
Yeah.
It's going to be ridiculous.
Yeah. Everybody's going to be on them. But
you got to eat the chalk, though, sometimes. If they score 10, 12 runs again, I mean, you're screwed if you don't play them,
Right. So, yeah, we're on the stacks now. So they're the top stack, obviously. I like the Angels against Adam Aller. I like the Rockies against Carlos Hernandez. It's more about who they're facing even than the fact that they're at Coors, because he's just terrible. And I like the Guardians against Devin Smeltzer. He's been pitching in the minor leagues since April of last year, so this will be his first time in the majors in a while. And I like Cleveland, and that's my top stacks for the main slate.
Yeah, Smeltzer isn't some young stud that's coming up through the system either. He's toiled around in the minors for I don't know, 6-8 years, something. I don't know. He's not good. So yeah, Cleveland is one of those 3 stacks I was talking to you about that I like so much. Now, I'm not even going to mention the Yankee stack because you have to, got hit in the head with a bat to not think the Yankees are a good stack.
Right.
But the other stacks that I like are definitely Cleveland against Smelter, who I don't think will last long.
Mm-hmm.
And then again, I hate to boot against you, but I like it. Arizona, as much as they suck, I just think Kyle Hendricks just probably used every ounce of what he has left for the month of May in that last game. So, and I think Gallen pitches quick. He's effective. Keep Hendricks having to get out there quick. I think that Arizona can get to him. But my third stack, and this is where it's going to be really interesting. I think there's one question on this slate, and the question is: do you have more faith in the Yankee stack against Keuchel, who they should smash, or do you have more faith in Colorado in Coors against a crappy Carlos Hernandez? So that's the tough one. Yankees or Rockies. I think the Rockies are a fantastic stack here.
Yeah.
I'm talking Joe Iglesias, Blackman, Cron, McMahon, Diaz, Grishik. I would go 7 deep on that lineup probably.
Yeah, I mean, I can definitely see that. And if the Yankees are over-owned, that would be decent leverage on a, Coors. That's a hard thing to get a lot of slates. So.
It really is. And, it's the nice part about it too, is it's supposed to be 84 degrees and how the ball flies there.
Oh yeah, definitely.
When you stack, what is the max you usually stack for those folks out there listening that want to pick our brains a little bit?
It depends on how much I like the other teams around it, So if I have on most slates, I'll not stack 4 on FanDuel in cash, but I will in GPPs.
Right.
But then on DraftKings, I usually stack 4 or 5 because you've got the catcher you have to play. I like to play the catcher for whatever stack I use.
Right.
And then you can stack up to 5. So you can get 4 bats plus the catcher. So.
Yeah, and I'm somewhat similar. It depends on the site, but I love three-man mini stacks, and they don't even have to be 2, 3, 4. Maybe it's 2, 3, 5 or whatever the case may be. But I love mini stacks. That's a big thing that I like to do. But when I feel this strong about certain stacks, I like to go after and go ahead and get like 4 of them usually.
Yeah.
I generally don't do 5, but it's nothing wrong with doing that. But I could see having 4 Rockies and 3 Indians, something like that,
Yeah.
or 3, have a lineup with 4 Diamondbacks and 4 Rockies,
right.
Whatever the case may be.
Yeah. And like for me, like with Colorado as an example, I would put like Connor Joe, Charlie Blackmon, CJ Cron, and somebody else in my cash. And then I'd probably throw like a Brendan Rodgers, Elias Diaz in my GPP just to kind of get full exposure to the stack. If I like a stack that much, that's how I like to do it. So.
And don't forget San Diego. I'm stacking 4 or 5 in that early slate in case you missed it earlier.
Uncle Charlie. Yeah.
Yeah. Poor Uncle Charlie, man. I always rooted for him, but I just, we say it every once in a while, every like 5th podcast. Father Time is undefeated. So he gets everybody at some point.
Yeah.
All right, man. What do you have for your HR call?
I'm going to go with Jose Ramirez. He actually hasn't hit a home run since April 29th. So
I know that's surprising.
Yeah, he's due. So I'm going to go with Jose Ramirez tonight.
I absolutely love that call. I'm going Josh Donaldson, like I mentioned earlier, for multiple reasons there. And probably one of his buddies, either the one ahead of him or one behind him. 2 guys you may have heard of, Stanton and Judge, may get one themselves.
Yeah.
So, but I like Josh. He's got the nicest job in baseball hitting between those guys.
Good name too. So.
Yeah. I don't know about that. That's the shaky part.
Yeah.
All right, man. Anything else you can think of baseball wise here that we need to discuss?
No, I was trying to think of an early home run call. Well, I will say this. If Andrew McCutcheon's back in the lineup, he has really good numbers against Trevor Rogers. So we'll see if he's in the lineup. He's been out with COVID now for like 4 games, I think. So
I think Hose goes deep early. Eric Hosmer.
Okay.
All right.
All
right, tomorrow's going to be fun. I cannot wait.
Yeah,
We're going to go early morning. We're going to knock out a baseball and an NBA. We could do both. You know what we've never done before? We've never combined them.
You think about it?
I mean, I just think, I'm on air live here. We're just discussing it, but I don't know anybody that really does that. We could do 2 pictures on the thumb and just have Super Sunday or something, and maybe combine the 2 together. I mean, we could.
That would be interesting for sure.
I don't think anybody else in the industry really does that.
Yeah.
And and we put timestamps on our stuff, so if somebody just wants to watch baseball or basketball, they can skip right over it. What do you think?
That's something we'll have to consider. I think it's a pretty good idea. It's out of the box for sure.
Well, it's out there now, so now people are going to be expecting it. No pressure.
Yeah.
But we'll get that out there tomorrow, and man, tomorrow is going to be so intense. I'm resting up today because game 7s you don't get to see a lot of them, and they're so much fun, but to see 2 of them in one day with 2 heated rivalries like that, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And I will be wearing the orange Jinx shirt because it reverse Jinx shirt on the Suns that worked for me last time. So I'll have that on tomorrow as well.
I'll have some kind of Bucks something on. We'll see.
All right. You could wear the antlers. You got the hat with the antlers.
Yeah. I don't have to have the antlers.
Well, you got time to go out and get one today.
Yeah.
All right, Crash. Great job as usual. Hopefully everybody gets a chance to take a look at this, get their lineup straight. We'll be sharing everything in Discord. Give us a try, dfscoachtalk.com. If you want to follow us on Twitter, we're at DFS Coach Talk. Crash is at JP Davis 1982. I am at Joe Sarvati. Also, if you're on YouTube watching right now on the way out, hit that thumbs up. That means so much to us. It helps us move up the algorithm on YouTube. Hit the subscribe button and the little alert in the upper corner that lets you know when any of our podcasts post. And as always, thank you to Prizepicks for being the presenting sponsor. You can sign up at prizepicks.com by using the promo code CoachTalk, all one word, and you will get matched dollar for dollar on all the way up to $100 on that first deposit. All right, Crash, have a fantastic Saturday. And we'll certainly be back tomorrow morning with you. And we're going to be looking to crush it in both NBA and MLB, DFS, and Prize Picks.